In the Willamette Parkview Mall, players come across a boss named Cliff Hudson. Cliff is a Vietnam War veteran whose story is one of suffering, sorrow, and eventually tragedy. His past gives his character a significant depth that sets him apart from previous boss fights in the game. Cliff is in a significant mental suffering when we first encounter him in the game. His PTSD has been worsened by the zombie outbreak, which has caused him to act violently and rashly. However, this narrative is not as simple as it seems. In this video, I will go into greater detail regarding Cliff Hudson's persona, covering his origins, motivations, and the relevance of his character. From his past and motivations to his eventual fate, we'll look at what makes Cliff such a captivating character in the game. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe, and you can also check out my gaming videos if you want to. I probably won't be posting any gaming videos for a while because I don't have the equipment. Please bear with me as I haven't posted anything on a continuous basis. I hope everybody's having a great day, and yeah, man, let's get it. In Dead Rising, Cliff, encountered by the protagonist Frank West in the Willamette Parkview Mall, is depicted as a rugged, middle-aged man with a strong, muscular build. His face reflects aging and stress, portraying a determined expression. He wears practical, durable clothing suitable for survival situations, seen in a simple weathered shirt and pants. Cliff also wields a blooded machete and uses pipe bombs. He also wears dog tags, which symbolizes his military service. You can find Cliff Hudson in the North Plaza in the mall during the mission called the Hatchetman. Specifically, he is located in a Chris Lips Home Saloon hardware store. This area has been fortified by Cliff, who has set up various traps and defenses, turning it into a dangerous battleground. To encounter Cliff, you must progress through the game storyline and reach the point where Frank West is tasked with rescuing survivors and confronting the various psychopaths throughout the mall. Cliff is one of the many psychopaths Frank must overcome in order to proceed through the game. Cliff has been driven insane by the zombie outbreak and the loss of his family, which has worsened his PTSD. Cliff is shown as a mentally unstable and paranoid guy who has been greatly affected by his history. His military background makes him a dangerous opponent as he employs guerrilla tactics and traps on Frank during the confrontation in the mall's hardware store.
Name and rank, soldier! You can't tell me, can you, fella? Oh yeah, I know why. It's because you're Viet Cong. I'm right, aren't I?
In the game, Cliff is seen as a dangerous and hostile survivor. His motivations are driven by a twisted sense of survival and a desire to protect himself from the perceived threats around him. Cliff believes that everyone around him is a potential enemy, a belief rooted in his traumatic experiences from the war and the loss of his family to the zombie outbreak. Cliff's motives are shaped by the deep-seated fear and distrust. He sees the zombies and other survivors as threats that must be eliminated to ensure his own survival.
You are nothing but a filthy communist! You, son, are gonna tell me where the gorilla's hideout is. By the time I'm done beating information out of you, you are gonna be begging for death to come take you away.
His actions are driven by a desperate need to regain some sense of control in a world that has become increasingly chaotic and hostile.
The war wasn't over. Not for me. It never ended.
This dialogue reveals a lot about his state of mind. He talks about the war, the loss of his family, and his inability to cope with the new reality of the zombie apocalypse. These moments provide a glimpse into his tortured psyche and explain his aggressive behavior. Understanding Cliff's actions require empathy. He's just a broken man trying to navigate a broken world, and his story is a poignant reminder of the long-lasting effects of trauma. Cliff's story comes to a tragic end when the player is forced to fight him. His death is not just another victory for the player, but a somber conclusion to a life marred by pain and suffering. In his final moments, Cliff expresses a sense of relief, as if his death is the only escape from his torment. He hands Frank West his dog tags and a photo of his granddaughter expressing regret and love for his family. This act reveals a deep sorrow and the lost humanity within Cliff, making Frank realize that Cliff was not merely a monster, but a man deeply scarred by his past and suffered from severe PTSD.
Here. Take this. My granddaughter. She was done in by those damn zombies. When I heard her scream, I just lost it. Everything went white suddenly. The war, it wasn't over. Not for me. It never ended.
Cliff Hudson's death is one of the most tragic moments in Dead Rising. It's a powerful reminder of the human cost of both war and the zombie apocalypse. His story adds a layer of emotional depth to the game, making players reflect on the true horrors of his experiences. The story in Dead Rising is a fictional representation, but it mirrors the real-world struggles of many veterans who suffer from PTSD. PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder, is a severe mental health condition that can develop after experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event. For many veterans, the horrors of war leave a lasting impact, affecting their ability to reintegrate into civilian life. For Cliff Hudson, his tragic fate underscores the need for empathy and support for individuals dealing with PTSD and other mental health conditions. In our society, providing comprehensive mental health care and creating a supportive environment for veterans and others affected by trauma is crucial. By understanding characters like Cliff, we can better appreciate the real-world struggles of those around us and advocate for better mental health services and support systems. His tragic end serves as a reminder of the importance of mental health care and the need for empathy and support for those affected by trauma. By understanding and addressing these issues, we can create a more compassionate and supportive society altogether.